Good morning and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. My name is Ray, the Market Trader. And before we begin, we'll need to go through our obligatory risk disclosure here, guys. So let's go ahead and do just that. All right. So just want to remind everyone that the content is being published and distributed by the Market Trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice. An offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security company or fund. We all understand that the use of this information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and the company's partners, representatives, agents, employees, and contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. We do understand that future trading carries a fair amount of risk, and that it's not for every investor. Investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital, and only risk capital that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so now that we've gotten through the risk disclosure, yes, good morning, What Lens? Good morning, David. Okay, screen is dark. Is it visible now? Okay, all right. So we'll give it a few seconds here. Might be like a little bit of a 20-second delay or so, but just to make sure that that's visible, we'll give that a go, and then we'll move on to our news portal here just to get a sense of what news we have here today. Okay, so now that we've gone through the risk disclosure, we'll turn our attention to our news portal. The portal that I use for this is Financial Juice. And you can see here a litany of news items that are either in the process or have already been reported. We have the initial jobless claims that have reported. Looks like they came in above expectations. U.S. Philly Fed Business Index also came in above. Continued jobless claim came in above. S&P PMI services are yet to report here. They're going to report here at 9:45, as well as manufacturing. And then we have existing home sales coming in at 10 a.m. Eastern. And then we have a couple of 30-year high yield bond notes reporting. And then we close out the day with some more executive signatures of orders here. Okay. So fair amount of news today, which obviously has the potential of impacting the markets. Looking, I guess, at the close of the week that we have the Jackson Hole, the symposium, also, I guess, meeting that could also have an impact on the markets here. Okay, so fair amount of news that has already been reported and I guess yet to report. So something to keep in mind as we move into a review of the markets here. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and turn our attention, okay, to the portal here, financial our platform here, and we'll start to take a look at the gold market here. Okay, so you can see here again, we continue in what seems to be an endless consolidation pattern here on the daily chart. Okay, we continue to respect. I'm just going to go ahead and draw this trend line here. Okay, so this is this trend line that we've been kind of following here on the bottom here. Okay, continues to be respected. We have a top line that has yet to be exceeded with any sort of conviction. Okay. So again, we remain in some sort of consolidation pattern. Kind of, I would say that we're coiling here. Okay. Seems like we're coiling for, again, as I mentioned in past sessions, coiling for some, significant move in this market. Okay. So moving down to the 4-hour chart here, guys, looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay. So looking at this, you can see that we're getting some indications here that maybe we've created a little bit of a demand area here around the, I don't know, 3370 level. Okay, 3370 appears to be an area of maybe some level of demand, okay, in this market. So we're going to go ahead and mark that level as an area. You see that we've gotten some reaction away from that area. We're going to go ahead and mark that in area as green to indicate that is indeed a demand zone, a support zone in this market. But nonetheless, even though we are getting some reaction and creating maybe a little bit of a demand zone here, we still remain in some sort of bearish structure here to the downside. Okay. So, right. So if we are indeed going to, entertain maybe an opportunity that would take us maybe higher, okay, we need to get above, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to draw this channel without maybe something along these lines. Maybe we have already received that event. Okay, right? We received, maybe we had a little bit of a bullish candle outside this channel. We've come back to retest the conviction of these participants, and so far that's been met with some more buying. Okay, so again, market on the 4-hour chart appears to look a bit on the bullish side. Okay, all right. Let's see. Let's remove some of our drawings here, guys, and we'll take a look here. We'll turn off this tool here. Okay, just look kind of a little bit of a blank canvas here, guys. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our fixed range volume profile here, get a sense for where price is in relation to yesterday's price action. So here we are, Thursday. We're going to go back to the start of Wednesday, back here, okay, somewhere in that range, okay, and drag that across to the close, okay. Let's see, is that right? Yep. Okay. So as you can see, okay, it looks like we opened below, right? We opened below value, and now we are retesting, are in the process of coming into an area of prior value. Okay. Now the question becomes, is it going to accept value and head higher, or is this area going to offer us an opportunity for price to continue lower? Okay. That's kind of the area that we're in now. Now, if we take a look at the initial balance over the course of the last couple of sessions here, we'll start off with the Asia session here, okay, and see what direction they were able to take the market. Okay, so let's go ahead and open that up. Okay, so for Asia, looks like they were able to take the market lower. Okay, London stepped in here. Okay, and we can see that they're attempting or in the process of potentially taking the market higher. Right, we got to a level. We made the highs here of the I would say the session here, and we sold off. We got to a point down below, right, a prior area of balance, and we've rallied. Okay, so a little bit of I would say a little bit of a mixed bag here. I'm going to go ahead and open up my VWAP. I don't know why that's disappeared off my charts here, but I'm going to take a look at VWAP. Just a standard VWAP will do. So volume weighted average price, volume weighted average price. There it is. Okay, so we're going to turn that on. Okay, and you can see that price is above value. Okay, hey, Trader Dubois, you can see that price is above value. I'm going to go ahead and turn off these standard deviations here. I don't need them. Okay. And then the other thing I'm gonna add to this chart is the EMA here. Okay, so I like having the 9 EMA exponential moving average. Okay, to support my ability to, I guess, gauge general market sentiment. Okay, so right here, so we'll add the 9 EMA here. We'll change that to from blue to gold. The 50 works well with the okay, so we'll add that as well. So I'm going to add the 9 EMA, okay, just to give me a more recent view of the market, and then we'll go ahead and add the 90, okay, as well. Okay, so not 90, sorry, 50. Okay. So we'll add the 50 here. We'll color that a little bit different here. So let's see. We have blue for VWAP, gold for, we'll go yellow for the 50 here. Okay. So looking at these EMAs. Okay, let's see. Move this over here. Okay, looking at these EMAs, right? You can see that we have a confluence of price here all above, right? All above, right? Now we're getting a little bit of a rejection candle, I guess, based on some of the news that we're receiving in the markets. Okay, we had a little bit of a push higher, but it'll be interesting to see if we do indeed close higher. Okay, so we still have a ways away here to see this close here. Let's take a look at the 15-minute because this is kind of being hidden here a little bit. So it looks like we got a little bit of a rejection away from this market as we are working through the London, as we're working through. This is actually the London session, guys. So let me go ahead and open up the regular session. Okay, so we're establishing our regular range here. Okay, so there's that first 15-minute candle that established the range as a result of some of the news that we got this morning. Okay, so we're working with a relatively, I would say, relatively wide initial balance range, with the market showing maybe some signs that it wants to break higher, but initially has been rejected. So it'll be interesting to see if we do get a close above structure. If so, then that could lead us to maybe a move higher, right? Because right now we're above the 9 EMA. We're trying to work our way above the 50 and the VWAP. That could potentially offer us maybe an indication that the market wants to move higher. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and locate the start of London here to see where London is in all of this. Oops. Okay. One more over here. Okay. There it is. So London is also appearing bullish. Okay. So again, so as we head into this session, it looks like we maybe are getting some price action that would indicate that the gold market was indeed head higher in this market. So we're going to wait for this initial balance range to establish over the next half hour or so before we make that final determination. All right. So let's go ahead now and take a look at the crude oil market. The crude oil market rallied a little bit of late. Looking at the daily, okay, that rally was short-lived. Okay, we got a relatively nice bullish candle here. We came up to the 9 EMA, and what did we do on that 9 EMA? Well, right now it appears that we are reacting below it, right? So we have the 50 and the 9 all indicating that we're still very much inside some sort of bearish structure here to the downside. Okay. We are in an area where we would expect to get maybe some support here around 61. Not really seeing all that much, I would say, in the way of strength in that move. If they are indeed serious about maybe a bullish move in this market, we obviously need to get above 64. If we can't make it above 64, then I would say that we remain in bearish structure in this market. Okay, moving down to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, we're going to go ahead and turn off our initial balance here for a moment. You can see that we've reached the 50 EMA here, and we are developing a bearish engulfing candle in an otherwise market that seems and continues to be to look bearish. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can add my volume delta. I don't know why these things aren't here. Okay, but we'll add it anyway. Okay, so right now the sell volume is congruent with what we're seeing in price. Okay, we're developing an engulfing pattern here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at initial balance over the various sessions here as we move into the 30-minute chart. Okay, so looking at the 30-minute chart, you can see that we have a series of there's a lot of bearish participants in this market. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up the initial balance range here. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and start with Asia, get a sense for what Asia did with the market. We're going to go ahead and open that up. Okay, so you can see that Asia, we had a bit of a rally. Okay, in the Asia session to the upside. Okay, London is looking maybe a little bit more bearish. Okay, on the instrument, and indeed it is, right? So we closed below the initial balance range. Okay. Asia bullish, London bearish. The question now becomes, is New York going to be bullish? Because again, we are in an area where we should expect or could expect maybe some participants to step into this market on the bullish side. Now we have a little bit of a mixed bag here, right? We have a couple of indications that are telling us that we may continue lower. Right now, price is hovering around the 50 EMA, around this area of support. Okay, so 63 appears to be an area of importance here, guys. So if we manage to hold above 63, I would say that we have a reasonable chance, maybe potentially turning around and heading higher. If we cannot hold 63, I would expect that we would continue to challenge the lower prices here, maybe as low as 62.60. And if we can't hold 62.60, obviously we go down to about 62.20. All right. So again, market again on the shorter time frame, I'm seeing a little bit of bullish structure here of late. I guess more in the way of the bears. So kind of a mixed bag. So I'm going to we're going to wait here for this initial balance range to establish for the regular session before we make any sort of commitment on direction. Right now, I would say probably looking more bearish than bullish in this market. Okay. Another thing I'm going to add here is settlement price. Okay, so we'll add this here to this market as well and see where settlement is. We're going to go ahead and change that to some sort of gold color. Okay, and we'll make that dots instead of dots, circles, right? And let's see if we make that a little bit prominent. Okay. All right, so we have our settlement price below us. So I would say we have a reasonable chance, at least, of getting down to 62.72. I would say that we're too close to that price and not to revisit it. And maybe that level there, the 62.70 level, could offer us maybe an opportunity here to the upside. And that would kind of be aligned with the general structure here. And that would be a logical reference level for price to maybe rally from. Okay. But market remains in some sort of bearish structure. Any sort of bullish move has to be kind of tempered. Okay. Because of the overall bearish nature that we have currently in this market. All right. So before I move on to the equity markets, just want to encourage everyone to look to hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Smash the notification bell so that you're notified when I do make these kinds of sessions available to you guys. And don't be afraid to leave a comment or two in the YouTube portal, just to kind of indicate to me and to others how these reviews are supporting your ability to analyze the markets. Okay. All right. So now that I've gone through my little marketing, let's go ahead and turn our attention to the NASDAQ. Okay. And take a look at what the NASDAQ is trying to accomplish here. Okay. So looking at the NASDAQ, you can see that the daily chart is giving us some indication that we might be in some sort of bearish swing here at the moment. We are below the 9 EMA, coming into our 50 EMA rather quickly. Okay. The last time we were at the 50 EMA, once we crossed it, we came back to the 50 EMA and rallied away from it. Now the question becomes, if we do get to it again, right around this 22,924, is that going to offer us another area for maybe possible rally, or are we going to continue in this kind of bearish kind of tone that we've kind of developed here of late in this market? Right, we had some indecision here up at the top. Buyers, I guess to some degree, were exhausted. They weren't willing to pay any higher in the way of price. So as a auctioneer often does, well, they have no other choice. Right, if they don't have one side of the market participating, they have no other choice but to auction the market lower to attract the other side of the market. In this case, buyers, right? So right now the daily is looking a bit on the bearish side. We see that we have our 9 EMA kind of slanted to the downside. So as long as we remain below the 9 EMA, again, my view will look more bearish than bullish. Okay. So looking at the 4-hour, we're going to go ahead and turn off the initial balance range. Again, we're starting to maybe staircase here, lower here, right? We're creating some structure here to the downside. We have maybe come into maybe another area here. I see that has the potential of becoming, or is has the potential of becoming supportive, okay, to price. We had a little bit of reaction away from it, but honestly, we did not get too far, right? This is pretty significant buyers here that stepped in yesterday morning, right? Now we got a slight push to the upside, but the very next candle, those buyers are no longer, right? We don't see that same buying, and now we continue in what appears to be our natural path right now, and that is to the downside. Okay, that's kind of the structure that we're currently in. So not overly impressed with what price was able to do with this kind of volume. Okay, to the upside, did not manage to break any sort of structure here to the upside. Again, indicating that maybe the bears have a pretty good hold on the market here. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart here, we're below the 50 EMA, we're below the 9 EMA, we're below settlement. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile just to get a sense for where price is, okay, prior to the open of the market. So we're going to go ahead and locate Wednesday here. Let's see, right about there. We're going to drag that across to the close of Wednesday here, okay, and you can see that price is hovering somewhere inside the value area of yesterday. So right now it feels like there's really nothing that maybe necessarily stands in the way of maybe potentially price kind of retracing through the entire range of value. Yeah, look, it looks like those buyers were dumping their sell positions. Okay, possibly. Right now, like I said, we seem to be in some sort of auction to the downside. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Like I said, I do see maybe a little bit of a minor level of support here around this 23,200 level. Okay, a little bit minor level of support here. If we can't hold 23,200, I think we're destined to come back down here to this 23,060, 23,080 level. The 23,080 level, it would be the value area low from yesterday, right? Right now we're below, right? Below our point of control for this area of the profile. Okay. So again, appears that again heading into the market, I think it appears to me at least that we're heading into the market on the bearish side. Again, if I'm really going to be participating on the bullish side, I feel like I need to wait maybe for some of these edges here to kind of play out here. 23,080, 23,050 seem to be kind of the logical area for me to maybe potentially consider a a discount buy. Okay, maybe is kind of what I'm looking at. If I'm looking to sell, well, we have some reference levels above us, right? We have the 9 EMA, we have the VWAP that could offer us maybe some locations where we could participate here to the downside. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead now and take a look at the ES here. Okay. Again, probably going to get a similar look and feel here where we're kind of talking through some opening range breakouts opportunities that presented themselves yesterday in the market. It might not be a bad opportunity here today as well. Okay. Taking a look at the daily again, showing some signs here of some weakness. Looks like if anything, if we're going to maybe we're in the midst of developing some sort of consolidation pattern here. Okay, so I see that we have this kind of price action going on, and appears that we're in kind of I guess maybe an ascending wedge pattern. Okay, and we seem to be on the bearish leg of that. Okay, so we're below our 9 EMA. We have the 50 EMA here down below, which is aligned with some of this consolidation areas that we have on the right-hand side. So the 6270 level does appear to be a logical support zone, right here. That would be a supportive area, and that would kind of keep us in this kind of consolidation range that maybe we're developing. Okay, we're not in a sort of certainly we're not in a sort of committed trend here. Right now, we seem to be in some sort of consolidation with some sort of range, which makes the market quite difficult to participate in. Okay, so looking at the 4-hour again, you can see again that we are in this what appears to be a consolidation range. Again, looking a bit on the bearish side, we're making lower lows and lower highs, coming into some areas where we would expect maybe participants to step in here. Buyers have really not stepped in with a whole lot of aggressiveness of late. Okay, and as a result, the sellers have kind of taken maybe the bulls by their horns and kind of driving them lower. Okay. So that's kind of, again, for our chart is really not giving me any indication of bullish behavior. We're looking again more on the side of bears. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute chart, you can see that price is below a lot of the indicators that we look at. We have the 9 EMA, the 50 EMA, the VWAP, and settlement all below. Okay. So again, we're in what appears to be some bearish structure here, right? Bulls have not been able to make any sort of new highs in this market. On the contrary, every rally has been met with sellers. Okay. So let's take a look at the fixed range volume profile. Let's see where price is in relation to yesterday's price action here. So taking a look here, dragging this across to this here, you can see that we are inside some sort of value range. Okay. So the expectation is that we would probably end up opening here inside this range. And honestly, I don't see any reason right now that stands in the way of coming down and revisiting 63.69. Okay. That seems kind of a logical destination for this current move. Okay. Now, could buyers step in at any moment? Yes. Right now, given the structure, I would say that this level down below does appear to be a logical level for this market. Okay. Let's take a look at what the initial balance range for the prior sessions were able to do with this market. So this is London, I believe. So this is the London market here. London, okay, has taken the market lower. Okay. Asia, also, let's see what Asia did here. Asia attempted higher and a couple of times and created a triple top, and then it capitulated as the London session opened. Okay, so Asia attempted to take the market higher, been met with sellers, and we've been selling ever since. Okay, so headed into the market, I would say the ES continues to, I guess, aligned with the NASDAQ, continues to look lower. Okay. All right. Looking at the Dow, we're going to go ahead and look at the daily. Again, really not telling me all that much different than what we've already seen on the other equity markets. A lot of indecision as to where to take the market of late. We do see that we're getting a little bit of a more conviction, more aggressive sellers here coming into this market. We're developing a rather strong bearish candle here that would lead us to believe that we're maybe potentially heading lower. Okay, in this market. All right. If we are going to continue what we're seeing here, if we are going to continue higher, well, the buyers who drove the price to this level will need to step in here at some point, right? Because right now it seems that the sellers are gaining a little bit of confidence here to the sell side. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Looking at the 4-hour again, we'll turn off the initial balance range here for a moment. Okay. So you can see that we've been in some sort of range of late. Looks like we did break below this support area. Okay. And now kind of hovering around the 50 EMA here. We have, I would say, a logical area down below that I'm going to go ahead and mark off as an area of some potential support here, down below here around 44,600. That would be a logical area where I would say that maybe some buyers, maybe we get more participation from buyers around this level here. So this level seems to be a logical area where we could potentially get a bounce, okay, in this market. And this looks like maybe a little bit of an extended head and shoulder pattern. The right shoulder here is a bit extended. So I don't know if what that exactly means. I would expect that maybe this move would have been more definitive to the downside. It kind of seems to be kind of grinding. So maybe we are getting some, buyers here, right? So you can see the volume delta bar. Right now we're getting more buyers than sellers, okay? And that's managing to hold up price here at the moment, okay? But it's not really, it really has not translated into some bullish candles here. So I don't know if we're, maybe potentially trapping some sellers down below here for price to eventually rally above. Again, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the 30-minute chart here, see if I can get any additional view here. But I would say that for me to really entertain longs, okay, or in this kind of bearish structure that we're in, again, my trusty channels are going to help me guide me on when that might take place, right? So if we do get price to close above this bearish channel to the upside, and we are seeing some volume coming in here to the buy side, you're seeing that the auction to the downside is losing a little bit of a momentum, right? We're seeing much more in the way of overlapping price, okay? So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the initial balance. This is the Asia, okay? So Asia, I believe, yeah, Asia session was able to take price lower. London, okay, looking at the London session, basically also was able to take price lower. Okay, so a lot of sellers in this market. Does that mean that we are going to rally? Okay, in New York, it's quite possibly, right? We are seeing a little bit of slowdown, right? We are seeing a little bit of a slowdown in the march to the downside. So if I'm a seller, well, I'd like to sell off of maybe a reference level that maybe has some basis for my interest. Yeah, that looks a bit tough to trade. Yeah, at the moment, I think all the markets are a little bit tough to trade. But I would say that if I'm a seller, I'd like to sell at a wholesale price, all right, up above, right, right above here, right around this 44,925. That would seem kind of a logical area for me to participate in a downside move in this market. I feel like I'm a bit extended to the downside at the moment. To participate in any sort of sell trade, right? If anything, if I'm going to do anything at these levels, it's going to be potentially to the buy side, and I'm not looking for a home run trade, right? I'm looking for a trade that's going to take me back to some sort of balance area, and that balance area for me is going to be at the low end of value, okay, or low end of the initial balance range. So that's kind of the opportunity, more kind of a little bit of a scalp, okay? So let's see. Did I not draw a fixed range volume profile? Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll close off our review, and we'll do one little final pass of all the markets here. Okay. So yeah. So again, I would say that maybe we are even again a little bit extended to the bearish side. We see that price is below our value. Okay. So of the three markets, the Dow is a bit further along on the bearish side. Okay. And just like anything else, the more extended we are in one direction, well, the rubber band has only one way to go, right? We can only stretch the rubber band to such a degree before we actually the rubber band will cause the market to recoil back to the center. So that's kind of how I'm feeling right now with the Dow. But it is again, as far as bearishness, I don't even know if that's a word. It does appear to be a bit more bearish than the other equity markets. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and just do one little final pass across all the markets here, guys. We'll start off not with Glennon, but the gold here. Okay, so the gold market seems to maybe start to show signs of some sort of bullish behavior here. Okay, in this market, I'm not exactly sure why this is creating this here. This, oh, it's London. Okay, gotcha. All right, so this is the London session. So kind of working its way maybe above the London. We do where the US session is about to close here. So we'll go ahead and move that to that here. See what kind of day session. Okay, so this is the regular session. Okay, so again, I'm going to be waiting for the market to give me some additional information. But right now, you know, as long as price remains above some of these indicators, the VWAPs and the EMAs, then it appears to me that I should be looking for opportunities to the bullish side. Okay, looking at the crude oil remains bearish. I would say that I would, you know, look for maybe pullbacks to some areas or some zones that would offer me a logical location, a lot of volume delta bars to the downside. Feels like there's still more opportunity in this market to the downside. Okay, looking at the NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ, we're coming into some areas here where we could expect to see maybe some level of support here. Just going to add maybe one other 50-minute candle here. Okay, so again, developing some sort of bullish price action here off of maybe an area of demand inside value, inside balance. Okay, ES probably showing us the same kind of thing. So ES and NASDAQ are very much aligned. I would say maybe even a little bit further below this demand zone, right? So again, I see a little bit of a demand zone inside this area here. Price has managed to get inside this area of demand. We still are seeing some bearish structure. We're below our EMAs. Again, you know, still looks bearish. Okay, in the ES. YM, again, we're below some of these areas here. Again, probably the most bearish of all of the markets, but we are seeing a little bit of a slowdown in the auction to the downside. We're seeing much more in the way of overlapping price. We have this this area down below here. I think was maybe what is this initial balance zone from yesterday? Is that right? This is yesterday's session. Yeah, this looks like yesterday's session. So we got below yesterday's initial balance zone. We kind of are trying to head lower, but it's been met with some buying. So it'll be interesting to see if this kind of consolidation that we're seeing is eventually going to cause maybe the market to rally. As I mentioned, this feels a bit more extended maybe than some of the other markets to the downside. And when we're extended in one direction, the natural thing to do is for the market to kind of come back into some sort of balance area. And that balance area for me would be somewhere around the VWAP. Maybe at that point, maybe we continue to the downside from that level. Okay. That's kind of what I'm kind of looking at right now. Okay. So that's kind of what I have for you guys today. Again, don't be shy with hitting the likes. Okay. Smash the notification bell, hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. Give me a comment or two on the portal and how this analysis is supporting your efforts in analyzing the markets. Okay. FIB tool could give us a good level too. Yeah, absolutely. So if we take the Fibonacci tool here and then draw this down, okay, we have the 50%, which actually happens to fall right on that VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and open up some other Fibonacci levels here. So this is the let's say the 61.8, the 38.2 are the more natural ones. Okay, so those levels definitely could offer us some opportunities. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if it doesn't hold, we could certainly break down. But I personally would like to mall events. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that name there. I would probably look for maybe a little bit of a pullback. Okay. A little bit of a pullback before I would want to participate in any sort of short. I feel like I'm maybe selling in the hole. And that's not a good feeling, right? Because any sort of activity on the bullish side is gonna cause some pain here, right? So if I'm a seller, let me be a seller at a more logical location. I would like to sell strength rather than sell weakness. Okay, that's kind of just my general view on that. Okay, all right, guys. So I think we'll close the session with that, guys. Again, don't be shy with the likes. Don't be shy with the hitting the notification bell. Hit the subscribe button. Give the market trader some love here. and let him know that he should continue doing these sessions on a daily basis. All right. And until next time, guys, trade well, trade safe, trade. Thanks. Thank you for the hearts. Trade well, trade safe, and we'll send a check. That's always nice. Until next time, guys, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Have an excellent trade session today, guys, and we'll talk again soon.